Hi, hello. I'm inviting you to journey with me. Let's read the book of Revelation verse by verse, chapter by chapter. I believe this book contains so much blessing, so much is in store for you and for me. I believe this book will help us in our devotion, develop that deep worship and that deep obedience to the Lord. Look at verse 3. It says here, blessed is the one who reads aloud the words of this prophecy, and blessed are those who hear it and take to heart what is written in it, because the time is near. The word blessed, the Greek word there originally means, literally, it means to be envied. To be envied are you. Blessed are you. To be envied are you. It literally means you have so much joy that people around you will notice it and actually want to experience what you have. Blessed are you. And why are we blessed? Why is this book such a blessing? This is a prophecy. A prophecy, this is a revelation of what God is doing in our time and what God will do in the days to come. This is God's view of the future. It says here, because the time is near. I love this. The time is near. There is something that God is doing, and if we do not know what it is, we will be confused. Also, in verse 1, look at this. The reason why this book was given, my dear brother and sister, it says here, to show his servants what must soon take place. God gave this book to show us what must soon take place. And see, of course, this was written 2,000 years ago, and the original audience of John, they had a clear perspective. They had a clear understanding what God was doing in their time. They were persecuted by the Romans, persecuted by the Jews, and they were going through difficult times, but they had this peace that cannot be fathomed and cannot be understood by human wisdom. They had this deep, beautiful peace inside of them. Because why? Because they understood what God was doing in their time. And what is written in the book of Revelation is a description of what God was doing in their time and what God did throughout the centuries that followed up to our present time. Reading the book of Revelation, meditating upon the book of Revelation will give you a clear perspective, a clear understanding, a clear picture of what God is doing now and what He will do in the days to come. You see, today, if you look around the world, it can be very perplexing, very confusing. Look at what's happening, the geopolitics of the Middle East, Israel, Iran, and the Gulf countries. And you look at North America, you look at China, you look at Russia, you look at Europe, you look at all over Africa. You see the turmoil, you see the turbulence, and the political ideologies are just tearing society apart. Never before has there been so much polarization and so much animosity and hatred. And we wonder, where is God? What's God doing? Oh, turn to the book of Revelation. You will have a clear perspective what God is doing. He is in charge, He is in control, He is king, sovereign over all nations. And when you have a clear perspective as to what God is doing, you will not be confused. And the reason why we are worried and fearful and anxious, it's because we're confused. We have no idea what's going on. We think we're on our own, we're left alone to deal with the problems we're facing. But the book of Revelation will replace that confusion with beautiful joy and wisdom. Joy that comes from wisdom. And we will act and move and decide according to the will of God. We cannot really work with God if we have no idea what He is doing. And the book of Revelation shows us that, my dear brothers and sisters, what God is doing. For example, just a little bit of an overview of the whole book, I believe you can see a beautiful picture of what God is doing. If you look at the chapter 5, I'm just going to read this very quickly. And John saw, he was standing before the throne of God, and he saw this scroll. You know what a scroll is? In ancient times, books were in the form of scrolls. You see, documents or contracts or covenants were in the form of scrolls. This is sometimes it's leather or sometimes it's paper, but it's rolled up and it is sealed. Molten wax closes it, seals it, and to open the scroll you have to break the seal. Well, John saw this scroll beside the throne of God. It had 7 seals, and the unlocking of each seal contains the judgments of God. And what is this scroll? So the scroll here, I believe it contains the sovereign plan of God for the nations of the earth. And the unlocking of it, you can see if you read the preceding chapters, each seal contains the judgments of God, the disciplines, the punishments of God, the wrath of God upon the earth. And you wonder sometimes, why is God judging? Is he not a loving God? Oh, if you love, you cannot but judge. You have to judge if you love. Well, let's read chapter 5 of the book of Revelation just to see an overview. It says here in verse 1, "Then I saw at the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll with writing on both sides, sealed with 7 seals." See, the scroll during the ancient times, there's a seal. It's molten wax that locks it. And this one has 7 seals. And verse 2, it says, "I saw a mighty angel proclaiming with a loud voice, 'Who is worthy to break the seals and open the scroll?'" So here's a question. This archangel, this prince, angelic prince, was asking, who is worthy to break open the seals of the scroll? Who is worthy to unlock God's purpose in the earth, to unlock the destiny of the nations of the earth? Who is worthy to carry out the sovereign plan of God for the nations of the earth? That's the question. And then in verse 3, "But no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth could open the scroll or even look inside of it." No one. That is the answer. No one. And then it says in verse 4, "I wept and wept." See, here John was stricken with deep sadness and tremendous grief. He was weeping. Why was he weeping? Because no one was found who was worthy to open the scroll or look inside of it. So we see here John before the throne, he was weeping and tears were flowing through his eyes and he was grieving. Why? No one is worthy. No one is worthy. And then verse 5, it says here, "Then one of the elders said to me, 'Do not weep.'" "John, stop crying, stop weeping. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has triumphed. He is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals." You see here this beautiful, the book of Revelation, if you read chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to verse chapters 19, it chronicles the opening of the 7 seals. Okay, each seal, seal number 1, brought judgment, seal number 2, and then the 7th seal, when it was opened, it revealed 7 angels, 7 trumpets. See that? And each trumpet also, it brought judgment to the earth. And the 7th trumpet, it contained the 7 bowls of God's wrath. But all in all, the 7 bowls is contained by the 7th trumpet, and the 7 trumpets that's contained by the 7th seal. So it's the 7 seals being opened so that what is contained in the scroll will be unlocked and it will be fulfilled. And no one was worthy. That's why John was weeping. And then this angel, this elder told him, John, come on, stop weeping, John. Why? Because look at the Lion of the tribe of Judah. And if you continue reading, John turned around and he saw the Lamb. So that's beautiful. The lion, when he turned around to see where the lion was, he didn't see a lion, he saw a lamb looking as if it had been slain. The Lamb of God, that's Jesus Christ. So this book, my dear brother, my dear sister, it reveals the grandeur, the glory, the majesty, the beauty, the supremacy of Jesus Christ. And it shows us where we are, our place, our role. And I pray the meditation of this book will deepen our worship, deepen our devotion, and deepen our obedience to the Lord. So I'm inviting you, let's read this just verse by verse and chapter by chapter. God bless you. Thank you.